Well, Rod, it's a beautiful evening, and it's that time of year that we do a special thing called
Date night.
Date night planting. Hi, I'm Heidi from Garden Crossings today with Rod, and we kind of walked through we had long romantic walks through the garden center, the greenhouse, picking out plants for we're doing 2 hanging baskets for this video. Both of these hanging baskets are again for up at the Northern Michigan Garden.
Yep.
One is going to be hot, full sun, not a lot of water. And the other one is going to be more, east facing, a little bit of south.
Yeah.
And that's going to be on drip irrigation, right?
Yes.
So it'll get watered whenever the irrigation.
But even that one's going to be a drier.
More of a drier area. Yeah. So kind of the theme this year that I chose was kind of the red, white, and blue theme. We did it last year a little bit, and I wanted to kind of keep that look going because we've got the cottage is blue and white. So I thought it would look pretty to do kind of red, white, and blue, kind of a patriotic feel. So last year we did a Dipladenia basket, and it was slow to start. I remember in the beginning, it took a little bit for it to go to flower, but once it did, it was fantastic. So we decided we're going to do Dipladenia again because it did so well. We didn't have to worry about it not getting enough water. The hummingbirds loved it. So, there's a lot of hummingbirds up there, so that's kind of fun. So there's a new Dipladenia this year that's actually blue, and it's called Sun Parasol Bluephoria. So I'm going to say that with a little bit of a blue note. It starts off with its new blooms being more pink, but as those flowers age, they turn to kind of a purpley blue color. So that'll give us the blue of the red, white, and blue look we're going for. So we've never grown this one before. I saw it last year. There's a big plant show we go to every year in Ohio, and it was beautiful. When we were walking through the trade show,
it caught both of our eyes.
It definitely caught our eye. So blue.
You don't see it in this plant.
No, the flowers aren't. Oh,
no, you don't.
Dipladenia.
Dipladenia, you don't see it blue.
Yeah, right, because they're pinks, reds, white,
and they're just orange and yellow are just somewhat newer
colors. Yeah, so this is gonna be something kind of cool. So we got 2 of the Bluephoria we're putting in this planter, and then we're doing just one. This is the SUNDENIA Red, and you thought this one would probably be fairly aggressive, didn't you?
Well, yeah, just already look at it.
Yeah,
it's putting on more aggressive. Here's the blue in front of it.
Right.
So we're putting 2 of the white, 2 of the blue, and 1 of the red. So I'll put the red in the center.
Yeah. And then the whites that we're using, that's the blue again. The white that we're using is also the SUNDENIA White Dipladenia. And the flowers of the white, I think, they're just a little bit smaller than the red. As you can see them side by side. But, I don't know. This would be kind of fun, because usually with Dipladenia, we kind of go straight colors. We don't really mix them. So
what did we have last year? Pink?
Yeah, pink or red, I don't remember. But this will be fun to mix them and see how they do. So there's your red. So the planter we're planting into right now, this is also a 16-inch hanging basket. This is a cocoa liner for one of our... we have a wicker type basket that we set it into. And the nice thing is we can plant these liners up and easily just transport them to the garden, because those are all on our, the I3 lighted hanging basket system. So they're these hanging basket hangers that have lights in them. So it illuminates your hanging baskets at night, which is really cool. That way you can enjoy them in the evening as well as during the daytime. But also, too, those hanging baskets have...
Well, that helps the hummingbirds find the things at night, right?
Yeah, that's right, because they don't want to sleep. They want to eat all night long.
Yeah. I forgot about sleeping.
But also, they have drip lines that go into those hanging baskets.
This one doesn't.
I was going to say, this one we're not utilizing.
So, I don't... In the last video, we put together a weekender hanging basket, and we say it's going to last a week or 5 days.
3 to 5 days.
This one is not on drip. You would think we'd want to use a weekender there as well, but I water it like once a week, and sometimes not even once every 2, because of the Dipladenias. You water them too much, you're not going to see flower.
Right. Dipladenia are actually, and I got to say this cautiously because I don't want somebody to take me like literal.
We're in Michigan. We're not in Arizona.
Right. But really, the hotter, the drier they are, the happier they are and the more flowers they put out. Now, don't let your planter go bone dry. I mean, you got to use some common sense here. But I would say even if, 7 days, maybe 10 days, depending on, again, how hot it is. But these plants, I remember we planted some of these up for a wedding, and we're not watering them but every couple weeks because we wanted to make for sure they'd be flowering at time for the wedding. And you just said, don't water those plants. We're gonna force them into flower by not watering, basically. So I don't know. These work really good. Really good if you're somebody that kind of has a forgetting to water problem. These are an answer to that problem.
And I don't think I would put this in a weekender, to be honest.
No, because it'd get too wet. Like it would just be too much for them. So you're putting that stick.
I don't think I am. I was thought about it, but it's almost as tall as the red already.
Right.
So.
Well, and once we get them into the hanging basket hanger thing, they're gonna wind up the arms of that planter.
Hanging basket hanger thing wind up its arms.
Yes.
You ever notice that Heidi's got some weird Heidiisms, we call them?
My own vocabulary.
Remember, it's date night.
Thingamajiggers, doodads, all those kind of words.
So how many did we put in here?
There's 5. That's kind of a little light for you.
I know.
I know you're going through, there's not enough plants in this basket problem right now, but are you going to put more? Are you going to sneak more in when we're done planting?
When you go home tonight and it's dark outside, I might turn on the lights and try to sneak some more in here. But it looks good. We won't tell you that.
Right. I mean, I don't know. I think it'll look nice. I don't think you need to do more. But yeah, so there's the 5, and so what they're going to do is they're going to more than likely go upward because they're going to cling to the hangers. If you wanted to, you could probably try to train them to go over, like force them to kind of hang down on the basket. But we let it go up and just climb and just have this beautiful, almost a trellis look in a hanging basket.
Because you got to picture the light up here, and when she says arms, they're like,
there's 4
there's arms,
3
of them,
and then it illuminates it, and it's so beautiful at the night.
Yep.
All right, so there's the one. Now we're gonna get the begonias and plant up the one for the southeast corner of the cottage.
Correct. Much better.
So for this hanging basket here, we tried something new last year. We weren't sure if we were going to like it or not, but...
Begonias?
I know, begonias.
Really?
But we loved it.
We did.
Yes. So...
It's got to be because it's the new begonia.
Right, exactly. So this is the Solenia line of begonias. This is Solenia Apricot. This is a proven winter begonia. And typically we don't like begonias because they drop their flowers, they kind of make a mess, but I don't recall this making a mess at all.
It didn't.
I mean, it clean.
It's not like your non-stop begonias where they have that big flower and just drops on the porch. Now, granted, it's a flower bed underneath. You won't notice it as quickly, but I didn't notice anything.
No, and you wouldn't do something again if you thought it didn't look good the first time.
For me, doing a begonia for the 2nd year in a row,
it's shocking.
It is.
So that just goes to show how much we really like these begonias. So these are
how many are in the series? 4, right?
I think there's 4 different colors. There's a red, a scarlet, there's a orange, there's the light yellow, and then this apricot. Now the orange one's got more of the chocolatey leaf, where these are more the green leaf.
I think this one's by far the best color.
The yellow's not bad, and we would have done the yellow if it had been brighter.
Bright, hot colors,
yes.
Bright, not pale.
Yeah, so that one, we were looking at it, but...
Yeah.
So, I'm planting into another 16-inch basket, and I wanted to show you a couple different, patterns, I guess you could say, of how you could plant this. So... the first thought is taking 4 of the begonias and creating a square of sorts in the planter.
A square in a round pot.
A square in a round pot. And then taking, this is the Diamond Frost Euphorbia, and putting 1 Diamond Frost Euphorbia right in the center of the basket.
I mean, even if you're worried about it getting hidden by the other ones. You could put 2 in the center and kind of squish them together.
Just to give it like more to fill it out.
Correct.
So that's one kind of a pattern or recipe that you could do with the Solenia, Apricot, and the Diamond Frost. Now what we're going to do is, because we want more Diamond Frost than just one sprinkled in the middle, is we're going to take 3 of the Solenia Apricot, create like a triangle, and then we're taking 3 of the Diamond Frost and putting it every other in this planter. So this way, our goal with doing it this way is it's just going to have a little bit more of that soft, I think Diamond Frost adds a little sparkle or a little glitter kind of look to a hanging basket. Just a little splash of white. It's
Where
soft.
last year it was just the
Begonia, yeah. So this is just going to it's going to soften it a little bit, I think, by just having that little sparkle of white in it. So 3 of the Begonias, 3 of the Diamond Frosts. Typically it's a six plant recipe is what we recommend for a 16-inch planter. So that's just going to give us, I don't know, just a more rounded look of color, because we're going every other with the plants. So these are on drip irrigation. So they get dripped, what, every day or 2? Do you have it going off?
Yeah, it's not a perfect drip irrigation system, so that's where it's probably a little bit drier basket. And that's why I'm making this a drier basket with begonias. They don't need as much water.
Right.
I guess I could run the dripper longer, but then it's going to run the ground drippers longer too for the plants underneath, and I don't want to do that. So.
Right, because it's not like you have a dedicated dripper just for the hanging baskets.
I mean, someone could argue, Rod, you could put 2 or 3 coming up. You're right, but you know what? If I can go drier plants and make it work too, same thing.
Right. All right, so let's go ahead and get these planted. We'll just set this.
Do you have an extra one there?
This is an extra one. I guess this leaves opportunity for you to,
I just want to show
go crazy.
I just want to show you. Look at all that room.
Oh.
See? But you know what? I will do it. I will plant the way Heidi wants tonight.
One thing with planting lighter, though, you have to admit, if you are packing your planters full, a lot of times they don't last as long in the season, because they do become a little bit more root bound, because there's a lot more plants in there, a lot more root growth.
This is a begonia.
There are hardly no roots.
And I mean, you're right if I say if that was petunia.
Right.
And this is Diamond Frost.
Right, yeah. So we didn't put super rooty aggressive plants in here. But
I don't know.
Especially if these were petunias and you were packing it full, you'd be watering all the time, and it would get root bound really quickly. So we have a tendency of at home planting a lot of the petunias, super bells, like really tight, and it's usually when 4th of July, mid-July, Rod, we're like, yep, that one's lived its life, it's time to plant up another one because it's just looking tired.
You know, if you can keep your basket to the 4th of July here in Michigan.
Right.
I mean, I guess if you can keep your basket looking nice in Arizona till the 4th of July, you're really good.
Right. Well, like if you had a guess, and viewers, when would you say your hanging baskets, tell us your state, because obviously state does matter, and when you planted it up, but when would you say your hanging baskets start to look a little tired for the season? Like, Rod, what would you say? Like, on average.
When I forgot to water them because you don't.
That's true. But on average, let's say we have a petunia hanging basket with some calibrachoa, maybe some verbena in it. When would you say it starts to look a little tired?
At a Heidi planting or a Rod planting? Because Rod's planting is going to kind of peter out a little sooner because it's too many plants.
Right. But I would say 4th of July is usually kind of a point in the season where a lot of people say, yeah, that's when my baskets start looking a little tired. So
they're sick of watering by that time.
Right, they're sick of watering. That's true. They got through like their Memorial Day holiday, they got through their 4th of July holiday, and they're like, all right, now it's time for my holiday. I don't want to deal with my plants. But there are things too that you can do if your plants are looking a little tired around the 4th of July, and we'll be doing a video on that soon, because I think I'd rather do a video sooner than later to give you just kind of a heads up of what to do if your plants do start to look tired. And it's, especially with petunias, don't be afraid to give them a haircut. People are afraid.
What?
I know. People are afraid to trim their plants.
I need a
and that
haircut
is,
too.
you do need a haircut. And seriously, give those baskets a haircut. Trimming is.
Would you really do a
definitely
haircut
something.
on a begonia and a diamond frost?
I wouldn't. That's why I said on a Petunia calibracoa,
I missed that part.
give them a
I wasn't
haircut.
listening.
Give them a haircut, and also make sure you're fertilizing too. Fertilizing is hugely important when you are growing hanging baskets in containers.
And that's petunia and calibracoa and verbena.
Petunia, calibracoa, and verbena.
But like for begonia and sun patient, we actually found out years ago that I was fertilizing the sun patients too much. They weren't flowering.
Right. Yep. So with your petunias, calibracoa, and verbena, usually we'd recommend feeding them at least once a week. Feed them and they'll be fabulous. Because part of the reason is when you're watering your hanging baskets and you're watering your container planters, every time you're watering them, you're flushing out any nutrients that might be in that soil. So you have to replenish the nutrients for certain plants more than others weekly to just keep them looking great all summer long. So as I mentioned, we'll be doing a follow-up video on that with more information and more extensive show and tell. But yeah, there's ways of keeping baskets looking great until Labor Day if you so choose to. So how's the planting
Did you
going
say show
on?
and tell?
Yeah, show and tell.
That was my favorite class in elementary school.
Oh boy.
Was that a class?
No, I don't think it was a
Whatever.
class.
But what were we talking about?
Oh, hanging baskets, Rod.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so you're just
That's
about
insane.
getting it planted. I think that looks pretty nice. 3 begonias, 3 diamond frosts, filling out
Does that
pretty.
look nice or does it need a little bit more? Well, it'll grow.
It'll grow. Yep. So that's looking good. That will do good up there, and yeah, bring a nice splash of color. It's always interesting, I think, when we're creature of habit. Like a lot of times we kind of stick with the same things. Other times we'll try different things, but when you know something works, I feel like you stick with it. So that's kind of the case with this. Like we knew it works and we're sticking with it. There's some different areas where we'll try different things. Yeah.
We just did a combination of Dipladenia.
Yeah,
We didn't do that one
But
last.
we had Dipladenia, but we shook it up a little bit by planting different things together. Yeah. So I don't know. So we'll see how that fills up. We'll keep you updated. We're going to be doing videos throughout the summer. There's so much content to talk about in the summer months that it's really quite wonderful with there being so many things to talk about. And, you know, if there's something you want us to talk about, let me know, because I'm always open to new ideas of things. Like, what are you wanting to know? Let me talk about it for you. So if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below. Thanks for watching. I'm Heidi
And I'm Rod.
from Garden Crossings.
Don't tell Heidi I'm doing this. She really thinks I'm a really good grower. And instead, I just put more plants in.